Well, many times our dogs or our cats will kind of give us some signs or some symptoms, kind of showing us they're either not feeling well or maybe they're hurt. But then in many cases, you may never know unless you get that critical blood work done. So we're joined now by Justin Vlosich with the SPCA, along with Jake there, the German Shepherd, to talk about why it is so important to get that blood work done. And first of all, Justin, how often should our pets be getting that blood work?
Ideally, in your annual exam, when you do that, you want to get the blood work done with it. It's super important for all your pets, but especially after an animal reaches 7. Like Jake here, I'll show, he's 9 years old. He's a little German Shepherd. He would be a perfect candidate for someone who needs to get blood work done. At 7 years old, that's their special golden years, we like to call it. That's when you really want to get started.
And what are some of the things that you look for in the blood work? Like, are there specific markers that you're looking for, any specific conditions?
The vet will actually ask you in your appointment if you want to get blood work sent off to check for a bunch of different diseases. And then depending on whether you say yes or no and which ones they check for, they'll be able to see some diseases in your pet that you can't really see with your own eyes. So it's super important to get it done because it could identify some like bigger issues that aren't super prevalent in our pups.
Things like what? I mean, are we talking like cancer or maybe even like forms of just like other kinds of blood disorders?
Pretty much anything like that, yeah. Anything that shows up in the blood, like think like humans, you know, you can do blood tests for, you know, different immune disorders, different cancers, things like that. All of that would show up for our pets as well. That's why it's super important because these diseases, if they go untreated, can be harmful and even lead to a lower quality of life a lot of times.
Now, I know you mentioned the age of 7, but is it advised or should you maybe even start doing it before the age of 7?
Absolutely. You want to get it done, if possible, every year. But we say 7 because that's when an adult animal is considered a senior. Once they're a senior, we like to call it the part of the ARF membership, their AARP membership. We say that's when they really need to have it done, but it's recommended to do it before that too.
Now, I'm going to get you to go ahead and take your camera again, and let's see Jake, because Jake is up for adoption. You mentioned he is 9 years old, a German Shepherd, but like so cute. So tell us a little bit about Jake.
So Jake is 9. He did not have the best start to his life. He's got a little scar on his back. We're not entirely sure what it's from, but he is the sweetest dog ever. He walks amazingly well on a leash. He will walk right next to you and just kind of stare at you and be like, okay, where are we going? We think he's house trained because he doesn't really ever make a mess in his condo. He's super independent a lot of times, so he'd be a good pet for someone that has to go to work. But he's also really sweet and loves to be right next to you when you're home and just lay by your feet. So he'd make a perfect pet for a great family.
He looks like he's a good cuddler. That coat is just beautiful. Looks so soft. Justin and Jake, thank y'all so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate it. And for those of you at home, if you need more information and maybe you want to take your pet to the vet to get that blood work, well, you can go to the clinic there at the SPCA. We've got the phone number right there on the screen, or you can visit their website there to find more information about the services at the SPCA, or maybe you just want to take Jake home and make him a member of your family. So all the information can be found right there. So guys, again, thank y'all so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.